And let's take this forward with Uday, Pimprikar, a tax partner of EY, joining us on this very issue. So, Uday, do you agree with this? Is this indeed a good idea? That first have the network in place, have the return filing system in place, and then talk about the Sops?
Uh, I would think so. I think while the intention of the SOPs were quite good to incentivize people to make payments through digital channels and to formalize it, I think it was good. The problem from the industry side was also was also needed to be taken into account. You can imagine what kind of systems that a individual uh, service provider would need to put in place to uh, I mean, if we make this particular exemption effective. It needed to kind of identify how a payment is being received. It needed to kind of go ahead and make a change in the quantum of tax that they would charge. So basically adjust that tax. So to my mind, it was from a compliance perspective, also from an industry perspective, it was a fairly difficult exemption to kind of make it effective. And to that extent, also, I guess what the ministerial group is also saying that let the revenue stabilize. I think on both these aspects, I think it's a good option to give some time to industry and also get their views in terms of how can we incentivize digital payments in some other way, so to speak.
You know, Uday, the other problem is, I won't call it a problem, the GSTN and the GST Council have taken the decision that we're going to see simplified returns. There'll be a 6-month window that has been provided for them. It should just be one return a month. Taxpayers should be able to upload invoices at any given time. So that it turns out to be a rolling process as well, invoice mapping. So till then, do you think it's a bad idea to have too many changes, whether it's to do with the sugar sass or tinkering of rates, till you have that in place?
So the compliance is at one end, of course, and the rationalization, the kind of effort that people will need to put in place for the GST 2, 3, and so on and so forth. That entire rationalization is at one end. It's basically we are talking about reporting of transactions and reconciling those transactions related to vis-a-vis your own books. Is that rationalization of that entire process, of course, is a given. Okay. The second bit is that, at least I would personally look at this, is when you're talking about tax policy change, okay, I think making a measured change over a period of time rather than making frequent changes in rates or making frequent kind of changes in procedures, you'd obviously have a problem from the industry perspective to comply with. So the present effort, now that we are kind of gone ahead and traversed the initial hump of implementation, now the present effort to kind of go about making these changes in a slightly more measured manner, I think is welcome. Of course, I think levy of a sugar cess or any kind of cess for that matters, or increasing the quantum of number of taxes to be charged, I think those things need to be relooked at in general. It's nothing to do with implementation or otherwise. I think it's better to have a slightly more stable tax system with a simplistic tax system rather than getting several other taxes into place. I think it is better. There will be compulsions, but I think the more you deal with those temptations in light of the overall tax policy environment that one needs to create, I think that's better.
We're going to leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining us. That was a